What is sampling? What is sampling? Sampling is the process of selecting a subset from a larger population. It's done to study characteristics or behaviors without analyzing every individual/item. The goal is to make accurate inferences about the entire population. Widely used in statistics, social sciences, economics, and market research. Sampling methods. Sampling methods. There are two types. 1. Probability sampling method. 2. Non-probability sampling method. 1. Probability sampling method. Simple random sampling. Systematic sampling. Stratified sampling. Clustered sampling. 2. Non-probability sampling method. Convenience sampling. Quota sampling. Judgment/purposive sampling. Snowball sampling. Probability sampling methods. Probability sampling methods. Probability sampling methods involve selecting samples from a population in a way that each member of the population has a known, non-zero chance of being selected. Example. Simple random sampling. In a study on student performance, each student in a school is assigned a number, and a random number generator is used to select a sample of students to participate in the study. Probability sampling methods. Simple random sampling. Definition: in simple random sampling, every individual or item in the population has an equal chance of being selected for the sample. This is typically done using a random selection process, such as a random number generator. Example: suppose you want to conduct a survey on customer satisfaction in a shopping mall. You assign a number to each shopper in the mall and then use a random number generator to select a sample of, say, 100 shoppers. Each shopper has an equal chance of being chosen, making it a simple random sample. Systematic sampling. Definition: systematic sampling involves selecting every nth individual or item from a population after a random starting point. The interval, n, is determined by dividing the population size by the desired sample size. Example: if you have a population of 1,000 students and you want a sample of 100, you would divide 1,000 by 100 to get an interval of 10. Starting at a random student, you would then select every 10th student as your sample. Stratified sampling. Definition: stratified sampling involves dividing the population into subgroups or strata based on certain characteristics, e.g., age, gender, income level. Samples are then randomly selected from each stratum in proportion to their size or importance. Example: in a study on education, you divide students into strata based on grade levels, e.g., elementary, middle school, high school. Then, you randomly select a sample from each grade level proportionate to its size in the overall population. Clustered sampling. Definition: clustered sampling involves dividing the population into clusters or groups, and then randomly selecting entire clusters for inclusion in the sample. It's often used when it's impractical or costly to sample individuals directly. Example: if you're studying regional differences in healthcare access, you might divide the country into clusters, e.g., states or counties, and then randomly select a few clusters to represent different regions. Within each chosen cluster, you might sample individuals for detailed study. Non-probability sampling methods involve selecting samples from a population without using random selection techniques, making it difficult to generalize findings to the entire population. Example: convenience sampling. A researcher interviews people passing by in a shopping mall to gather opinions on a new product. This method is convenient but may not represent the broader population's views accurately. Convenience sampling. Definition: convenience sampling involves selecting individuals or items from the population based on their availability and accessibility. This method is convenient but can introduce bias as it may not represent the entire population accurately. Example: conducting a survey by asking people in a nearby park about their opinions on a certain topic. This method is easy but may not capture the opinions of people who do not frequent parks. Quota sampling. Definition: quota sampling involves dividing the population into subgroups based on certain characteristics, e.g., age, gender, income, and then selecting individuals non-randomly to meet predetermined quotas for each subgroup. Example: if you want to survey voters and know that the population is 60% female and 40% male, you would set quotas for each gender and then sample individuals within those quotas until they are filled. Judgment/purposive sampling. Definition: judgment or purposive sampling involves the researcher using their judgment to select specific individuals or items from the population based on their relevance to the research objectives. This method relies heavily on the researcher's expertise. Example: selecting key experts in a field for interviews about a specialized topic. The researcher chooses participants based on their knowledge and expertise in the subject matter. Snowball sampling. 1. Definition: snowball sampling involves starting with a small group of participants and then asking them to refer or introduce other potential participants. This method is often used when the population is hard to reach or identify. 2. Example: researching a rare disease by starting with a few patients who are known and asking them to recommend others who might be willing to participate in the study. The sample grows as referrals are made. Thank you for your time. Happy studying. Keep exploring and learning.